honest or to heart? With heart and mind.
Heart wants to play this out fully. I really want to see eINS prove some people wrong. If we're looking at just statistical, I don't think we're getting past map 2.
All right, well, let's see where this one goes. Of course, it starts off all on Consulate, and this is eINS versus FaZe Clan. Good luck, have fun. Of course, respect is key and #1 within esports. That's the best thing about it, I have to say, other than the after parties at the the usual suspect areas. But we start off with Consulate this time. It is Shin and the team eINS. We'll be starting off on the attack.
Normally you see IQ picked here just to stop a Valkyrie play, right? But this might actually turn out in favor of them anyway, with both Lesion, Ella, and Valkyrie, and
Vigil as well.
Vigil, right?
Yeah.
Because as soon as Vigil is in his little little spooky phase where you can't see him, IQ can.
Yeah, IQ can definitely know exactly where he's running around.
And you'll see his backpack sprint around the room as you're trying to drone, so you can kind of like double duke. You know, when you're droning out and he thinks you haven't seen him, you're walking around with IQ and you know exactly where he is.
Yeah, very much so.
And it also helps the dealing with the Lesion mines a lot more.
Especially when you're playing against a Lesion that knows how to survive throughout the entire round. I mean, usually a Lesion here, you'll have him set up, you know, maybe 1 or 2 mines in the back, but most of them are going to be directed to holding down that yellow staircase.
Actually, a super important thing, at least from what I saw, we saw Vigil jump out of top floor, do a full rotate, and then come back to site and then run up again. I think he's purposefully trying to, as we say, duke them and think that he's top floor, but they see him go back down and then he actually goes top floor again. So we might see him up there not using his Vigil ability to hide from drones, just so it's even more confusing if he's, you know, is he top floor, mid, or basement.
All right, well, pretty standard here from eINS. They will try to go all the way up top before they come on down because, you know what, they're scared that there is a roamer waiting around for them. You see Arena going in with the drone as Astro set up on Vigil. They'll definitely be picking him up on the radar.
But you have to be careful here, because when you have a laser on Vigil, you can see that in the drone. So I don't know if this is a mistake, or if he's like trying to double outsmart them.
It's the double mind games, that's for sure. There we go. Only the second EMP is going to get thrown in, and very quickly, we see the garage door just getting opened up. There's pretty much no contestation from FaZe here. It seems like they want to lure eINS in before they collapse down on them.
They don't have many ways of stopping that wall getting open without a bandit or a mute, right? But as long as every second they burn now just makes both Ella and Lesion that much stronger.
Very much the case. Ella has rotated away as full map here on the Lesion, falling back, and this is a fantastic bit of whole play because they can shoot all the way down into the car. Irina, though, will get kill #1. That is Gohan. Will fall down, no more Valkyrie in play, but Astro jumping right from the back, gets one with the SMG-12. He's waiting for the second one, and the third is going to get taken down by Mav. Mav still on the site as Astro gets one more, and Cameraman cleans them up. They forced everybody from eINS to come in, and it seems like eINS just nommed on that trap and went on in.
Yeah, we saw them go off. We talked about they wanted to clear top floor and get control there first, but they didn't. They went back down and thought they could walk into site, but you have both Ella looking from all the way top floor to basement. You had Vigil freely being able to roam around. There's no way to call. If you have your 4th or 5th guy on a drone, he can't tell you when he's coming.
No.
They can just say, my drone's fuzzy now.
And that's it.
It doesn't give you any info. Is he on the drone? Is he actually shooting your entire team right now? Or what's going on? And
you definitely won't be expecting the Ella all the way at top floor that has perfect line of sight through piano room down on you.
It was a great push up until we saw IQ by White Van. If she could have stayed alive there for longer, but I think she got C4'd down. She was definitely down behind the...
She was down behind White Van.
That's where everything kind of falls apart.
All right. Well, it is first round going the way of FaZe Clan. You see eINS now setting up. Arena on the castle, and they will be playing all the way up top. Console chambers, and they're going to put a bit of weight behind bathroom downstairs to hold and the area around it. And I don't know, what do you think about holding down an area like that? What is it? What's your goal by putting so much utility downstairs?
For me, lobby is probably the most interesting bomb site on Consulate. I think it's probably one of the better ones, because if you hold top floor, you kind of have full control of downstairs. It's really difficult to plant. You can always fall back from top floor, and then you're actually playing on the bomb side. As soon as you can cut the rotates off, or as long as you can cut the rotates off, sorry, on basement, there's not going to be anyone coming from inside the building to scare you off. So you can spend almost all your utility around the site and off the site, because no one really wants to just walk in and plant. You don't win it by just getting the plant off, and you're committing so much to go in on this bomb site that you want to have a bit of control, either top floor. The holes we see here looking down into main door, for example, just seeing those holes almost always deter people from walking in and planting.
So a pretty standard push would be going through into admin, for example, having one player that is just set on the western side.
Yeah, I definitely expect them to clear top floor. You see, they haven't even opened up the hatch yet, because if they kill the people able to open up the hatch, well, then they're not getting through. They don't need to reinforce it, because it's only really Buck and Ash. Oh, I guess you can say Hibana and Thermite can open them as well, but when it's on a soft hatch, that's I'm not going to say it's rare, but it's just not as effective, right?
Yeah, well, here we go. Castle walls are definitely there to expend as much utility from the attackers. Zastra has moved in with his combattant.
This Twitch drone might be detrimental to Smoke.
Yeah, well, he's going to be able to spot him, and the Smoke has not seen it just yet. Not too sure why. Here we go. He spots the second one. Little does he know, Astro already knows what's going on. He's going to force the Smoke out at a minute 23. So definitely premature in this position.
We see a 2v3 top floor, and I think the rest of the team is more or less just holding angles, cutting off rotates. So for now, at least the numbers are favored on defense and top floor.
Good spot here from the Black-Eye's been set up by the Valkyrie. And Papelia is all up on that. See the push coming in. Astro is still on the upside by... There we go. Suzuk's going to be able to take him out. Nicely done. Even staying Smoke on the site is working perfectly for him, and he gets kill number 2. He doesn't push out, and that's the important part. There's a Claymore waiting for him. There might be more, which is not the case in this one, because they already sacrificed both Astro and Gohan. So both fraggers are down, and they have not done anything so far.
And you know, as soon as they put this amount of effort in, him staying there means that they are most likely going to have to either YOLO plant, or they have to clear top floor. Yeah, Thermite actually gets the plant down right in front of Smoke.
Oh, unfortunately, Prototype is able to take down Moringa, which means Cameraman is the only man alive. Now, has he set himself up for this defuse? Fortunately, Diffuser is all the way inside and not planted close up to him. They can still drop from up top, and that's exactly what they're trying to do from the balcony. Gonna spot out Suzuki here on the Smoke, and it's basically just trying to push his eyes away from the objective itself. Prototype's gonna get dropped as he turns around for the second. Can't get him down, and Suzuki saving the day on the Smoke. Honestly, extremely impressive play. Just holding down the top side,
yeah,
and also being able to clean up the last attacker.
Holding that portion of the top floor, as long as they're not getting that, the second Smoke would have died top floor. They would have been in, they would have planted, and there's not really anything to stop them, right? Maybe a guy fighting a bit from Piano could slow them down. They're going to get the plant off. So him staying alive up there, putting on an amazing fight, getting 2 frags to start with, and then cleaning out the round. Big play.
Pretty impressive, actually, holding down the Smoke. Usually, though, you have to say something. Nobody was holding the balcony as well. Maybe if you had the balcony and the entrance from the stairs, that would have been enough to push him away.
Yeah, but I think they were so confident, because we saw through the outlines that we had one guy looking into main door, cutting off anyone trying to rotate out of bathroom into main lobby, or from piano to main lobby. Then we had one guy by the main door also droning. They were just waiting for that one kill on Smoke. And in theory, I mean, there are 2 guys there. Right? There are 2 guys, they're pinching him, and they had it open on the side, but I don't think they ever drone far enough in to know that both, well, even if they killed Smoke, they had Ella and Castle raiding right there.
Well, they're going to be setting up here.
Seeing a sledge. Don't see that too much on Consulate.
Not really. It does allow you a lot of leeway when it comes to taking down a lot of soft walls, which is definitely possible when you have to deal with players up top here.
Most of the time you'd see a Buck to either open up the floors from top floor down, or to start pushing people out of more default spots. So just Just get them to rotate a little bit so they're more uncomfortable. If you play the same angle and you're really, really good at it, moving you 2 meters to the left or to the right might mean you lose your gunfight.
Well, cameraman definitely on the camera here for Pulse. And we've seen Pulse doing a lot of damage today.
Yes.
So if anybody can do it, it is cameraman. He's very well known for this kind of play. So there we go. He's going to be able to spot at least one of them coming in from the eastern side.
He's playing in a spot where Pulse is so favorable. Because if you're going into Visa, there isn't really much you can do to Pulse.
Yeah.
You can go through Garage to try and count him. You can come through some of the stairs, but he's going to know. There's no way of surprising him down there.
Yep, and there you go. He's just going to be checking the cameras. Nobody can get around him. And cameraman can go back on the camera and just make sure that nobody is getting a bit too aggressive. Here we go. Onesie will get a bit of a tag. Say.
It's a really strong position as well to play mirror in. The only problem is if you get stuck in there and there isn't enough teammates around you to keep the bad guys from coming in, you're dead.
Yep. Now this is a strong spot as well for the Jaeger when they're holding admin, because even grenades are difficult to bounce into him. Now, I believe the only thing that can push him out is either a quick push or having a Zofia maybe that can bounce a grenade off.
Yeah, that you can even hit it with a Capital, but I mean, that requires you have the Capital.
Yeah, so kill number 1 will go down here. Iorina will go down, as well as Suzuki here. A nice shotgun play from Moringa. He's just sticking on the site this time. Balcony is open. He has the ability to jump up, and there we go. Perfect position. Notices that the diffuser is down and now has to force all of eINS to come back in. And Moringa can just smoke this one, or he can tell his teammates to just jump in from below.
If he notices that the diffuser's down here, this is huge. They already know the entire play. They're gonna make the.
Oh my God! Here we go, Moringa. Smoke. This is the moment that he's been waiting for, to go ham on the smoke shotgun after the humiliating round that they had with Pangu at Gamescom. Here, he wants to bring this one back, and Onesie is all the way up top now, just watching the diffuser. Shin is moving in through the exit stairs, trying to find somebody. There's nobody
to fully rotate here, and just they could stack 5 guys to hold that one.
All right, Mav randomly running into him, but Gohan turns around, gets the kill, leaving only one set on his own in bathroom. It's a very close position, but they definitely know exactly where he's at. And here we go, quick push from Gohan will clean him up, and FaZe Clan go up 2-1.
I think we actually saw Mav taking a shot there just because of the rotate. I think they were trying to get around and just stack around that diffuser.
All right. Well, closer and closer we go. And now on attack is FaZe Clan. They go for the Twitch, the Habana, the Buck, the Thermite. And what will Gohan go for? This is a garage cafeteria defense, so Buck is going to be excellent in this sort of attack. Definitely going to see him running up top. Now, you have the Thermite. There we go, Ash. So Ash and Buck will definitely be pushing Piano. At least that's what you usually see.
That's the one thing against Bandit as well. You never need a Thatcher to take the Bandit charges out, right? You can repel in the window, do double Ash charge in the Piano floor, and you can just shoot the Bandit. Either the actual player or the gadget. Or the battery, sorry. So there are very few maps where Thatcher is needed to remove batteries. It's more other gadgets like Legion Mines, Ela Mines, stuff like that.
Sometimes it might just be because your team is so preoccupied with tunnel visioning on the site that you can't really delegate one person to run around the map and find a clear position to take down the Bandit batteries. You know, maybe for example, if you're pushing on border and there's an armory defense where Bandit has already set things up.
I mean, even there, it's still almost just as fast to just bucket from below.
Exactly.
Ash it.
Very much doable.
Seeing Dokkaebi here, though, I'm excited to see what they're going to try and do with the combo of Twitch and Dokkaebi.
Now, we haven't seen too much Dokkaebi from really most people today. It's mostly been KS that's been trying it on 1-up. Otherwise, it's been a bit of a niche pick.
If they're pushing their Hibana pick just to stop the mirror windows on site, they might find problems with the Bandit.
All right, well, Mav now running in. They have they taken control? They're trying to get their way inside. I believe at least one of the players is inside. There we go. There's only one that has taken control. Piano, and that's really all you need. Now, we see an Echo coming out.
It's an interesting way of holding the stairs.
It's a much more difficult angle to deal with, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot harder for the defense to fight, but you're also way less mobile if anything happens, if someone gets past you.
There we go, cameraman's gonna start popping these floorboards. You can just look on down, and as you say, just shoot those bandit batteries, and really any defender that's sitting down. This is very dangerous for an Echo as well. That's
yeah, 100%. And the way he's doing now with opening up all the holes and then just moving through, getting holes coming in, that means now he can start looking through. He can audible hear which hole he has to go to, which one is closest to the ringtone.
Well, you see gadgets already being destroyed here as Papilia is setting up with his Yokai. Gohan is fairly close up and even going for the Mark 14 instead of switching for the SMG-12. Cameraman still up top, has clear line of sight and most rotation positions. And
defenders still have a lot of time to burn here with smoke and echo drone still up.
Interesting that Shin set up in Teller still and has not really rotated back on the site or even contested anybody that is pushing piano.
Yeah, I think they were afraid of a Hibana hatch drop or anything common when these calls are coming in. I mean, last OKB call being used now, they're probably going to be a bit more relaxed. And as long as the Echo drone is alive, nothing should surprise them too much.
Oh, here we go. Quite a surprise for Shin to say that. 2 players have been taken down. SMG-12 will overpower Arena here. No damage done. And just spraying down Papilia on his own with Suzuki. They're trying to set up for this retake. Unfortunately for them, FaZe is already ready with the fantastic crossfire on the site. And they'll clean up our resident Japanese team here, FaZe Clan, in control of the game.
Talking about no surprises, we'd see Twitch just waiting for Jaeger to do his peek from top windows. He probably wasn't expecting that 40 seconds in, or 40 seconds left.
All right. On the attack now. We'll see what eINS have to show on this. I mean, their first push was not really that impressive. However, with FaZe in, we see Vigil being picked up, and I want to see what Astro has to show on this because there's definitely a lot of deceptive plays that you could.
Yeah, I think Vigil's he's one of the operators that are so hard to rate because it all depends on how the enemy team perceives it. Like, if you're faking being somewhere and you're there anyway, there's so many options for you to do. It all comes down to you might be able to outsmart your enemy so much that they don't even know what you're doing, and then it doesn't matter. Or they think they know what you're doing, right, and you're doing something else. It's difficult to know when you can justify a Vigil. He's definitely going to cause people to be confused.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's most of the time it's just how badly can we deceive the enemy team.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I mean he's going to get spotted through the vertically as well.
Yeah.
So that's another layer that you have to think of. There's no IQ like we saw before, where IQ can pick him up if he has the ERC activated.
Yeah, I mean, IQ and Jackal are 2 pretty strong counters to Vigil, but you also don't want to be running around with your IQ scanner all the time, right? Yeah. Especially not inside the map. So if all you're doing with IQ is scanning him, finding out where he is, and then letting other people hunt him down, that's kind of the equivalent of you know, having a vague idea with a drone, because he's going to be moving around.
Might as well have a Jackal at that point, and then it's definitely much easier to track him down.
With Jackal, you track him, and you make sure that he gets locked in somewhere he can't get out of, and you just leave a guy looking out the doorway. There's no need to take this fight or to push him.
Well, Shin moving right on in. He's going to spot one player. The staircase as he pulls all the way back. That is Moringa on the Ella. As Ash.
Sometimes knowing where people are is the same value as actually getting the kill, because there's a lot of false confidence in having 5 people alive. But you don't know if your 2 roamers are ever going to make it back to site.
Yeah, and it is definitely a difficult thing to know. When do we rotate back on the site? When is it crunch time? And I think a team like Supremacy, where we saw before, were really good at knowing that, but it's not that common of a thing because it is so difficult to judge how your opponents will be pushing and at what rate, what timing will they be going.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's, you know, game sense and experience, and it's something that's almost impossible to explain.
There we There you go, Moringa in a position that we saw before, very well exploited. First impact nade's gonna go down here just to open up into Piano. He can throw down the second one as well, right from the hatch. And they'll give him point of view all the way downstairs. He can definitely peek against the buck here. Doesn't really know. He's not really looking upstairs, so Moringa can definitely go this quick peek. And here we go, drops the buck before he's able to do too much damage, and now can just fall back and try to fight off Shen. Just needs some information. Unfortunately, I believe the camera's already been taken down in the hall, so he's running blind, but he can still try to rotate out instead of putting himself in a better position to deny a complete bomb plant. So far, so silent, though. Cameraman is just sitting behind his mirror window. Gohan is by white truck. You see the setup.
They're definitely a bit pushed for time now. 20 seconds left. This isn't a lot of time to get shit done in.
And they have to hold off Gohan, who's sitting by white truck. And this is not a fully open side, so now he can just use this a bit of cover for him. Diffuser's going to get dropped. They spot the last one in yellow. Fortunately for Papilia, gets one, but it won't be enough. Moringa will get the final headshot and clean this one up here on Ella.
FaZe seems so confident when they get into sight. FaZe is like, yeah, come. And then they just all drop on them at the same time.
Because you're not able to take down... If you can't take out the roamers from FaZe, then pushing onto a site is a death sentence.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's more than just getting sight, right? Getting control of the bomb site is one thing, but getting the plant down, that's what you need.
Alrighty, maybe Gohan going for Dokebe again. Yep.
But eINS definitely showing teeth. I mean, they're really close in these rounds, and they pulled off some really good rotates and some good roam.
But that's the thing. If you're playing against FaZe Clan, you're not playing as, you know, some normal team, if you will.
Yeah, everything has to be perfect.
Exactly. If you make one mistake, well, that's really all they need to shut you down for an entire round. It can all hang in the balance. You know, a single miss open floorboard.
Yeah.
You're not watching an angle for 5 seconds. That's all you need.
One bad call, you know, 5 seconds you weren't on a camera. It can be so many things.
10 seconds to go.
Now, Castle is setting up upstairs.
5 seconds.
It's going to make it even more difficult for his opponents to take the top side. Now, as we were saying before,
Attackers have recovered their
it's a thing with Siege, especially nowadays. If you want to defend a lower floor, you really have to dedicate something to hold the top side, especially when you're defending.
And it doesn't cost you a lot, because you can save the reinforcements and the hatches. If your logic is that they have to fight for top floor, they're either going to get it or they're not. If they don't get it, you don't have to reinforce it. And if they get it, well, then at least you might as well have the hatches open so you can get back to site.
Yeah. Now, we saw that, though, before, is that not all the teams will open specific hatches all the time.
Yeah, they'll leave them soft and use a shotgun, use an impact nade, something like that, because at least the attackers have to use gadgets. If you, let's say you get a box spawn kill quick off the bat, or they jump in and box the one to die, it makes it a lot harder for them to open.
Yeah. Well,
you have seen soft hatches actually win games before, where people couldn't get them open.
and not everybody's an Ashe, not everybody's a Habana or a Buck, and that's definitely something to keep in mind.
Or you could run Dokebe with the Boss G.
That is
Another
very
way
true.
of opening hatches.
That is very true. I kind of forget about that, actually.
Yeah. We don't see it often enough for it to be something you normally think about, right?
No, definitely not in Pro League.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Well, love to see someone actually pull the Boss G off.
That would be a highlight I definitely would like to see. Here we go. Moringa will get kill number 1. Suzuki, fortunately, will go down. We saw him before playing excellently on the smoke to hold the site, but not going to be the case this time, as Astro gets a second kill for himself as well. That's Arena down on the Castello, leaving only Papalia, Shin, and Pro as well. And this is getting very close to a victory for FaZe Clan on map number 1. See if eINS can actually keep in this game. At least to get themselves somewhat up. You need some of that confidence going into map number 2. And right now, with the way that FaZe Clan has very quickly learned to adapt to eINS's play.
Yeah, that confidence seems to be taken away.
A bomb has
Very
been
much
located.
so. Now, cameraman, as you saw before, still holding off on the buck, and now he's got Gohan. So these smoke grenades are going to get thrown in to block anything. And, of course, launching bomb to ease his way onto the site to get a bomb planted down. Ying as well to throw things out. There's no C4 to be played on here, except for the Valkyrie, but she's nowhere near around here to help out with this. Though Mav will get shot down. A good spot from Shen is he's just holding Spiral Staircase, but Diffuser is going to get set down, and this forces Shen to rotate all the way around. Paplia is here as well, and he might need to go for an aggressive play. Paplia peeking all the way from topside. Nicely done, taking down Gohan from the balcony. Shen is up top, and there we go. Astro gets one on Prototype, leaving it into a 3v2. Well, 3v1 at this point, as Shin is the only man alive, and Astro knows there's only one spot you can go through. It is that one single hatch, and FaZe Clan very handily taking this out 5-1.
From a spectating point of view, it must be so difficult to play against FaZe, and the way they are overly aggressive. For a few seconds, they get 1 or 2 kills, and then they back off, they just calm down. Then they plant something else, and they explode. There is no... They don't have a consistent pressure. It's, we go here, we take a little bit, we kill 2 of your guys, and then we're going to replant. Then we come back again and take the rest.
Yeah, we go in, we get those 2 kills, and then we're just going to fall back. We'll drone in, we'll make sure where you guys are. We can have an idea of where you're setting up that defense or how you're reacting to us, and then we can put ourselves back into gear and clean you all up.
That is what we saw almost work in their lobby attack round, where Smoke killed the 2 people hunting him up there. If they were to get that kill, they would have flown in, get the plant off right away, and you don't even see it coming, and you've lost the game like this.
All right. Well, we are setting up to go to map number 2. Will be Bank. It'll be interesting to see since FaZe are pretty darn good.
Yeah, and seeing as they really like to use Vigil, I don't know if that's a thing they only do on bigger maps, or if that's just something that's a standard for them now.
Excuse me, Oregon.
Oregon,
map
yes.
2. Yeah,
yes,
which is
that is correct.
Which is still a map that
eINS
plays.
banned Bank.
Yes.
Yes.
That was their last ban, actually.
Well, actually, Oregon and Vigil. So
Still works.
yeah, if you stand on the laundry desk, there's no way to tell if you're around the hatch in classroom, on the stairs, if you're in laundry, or if you're in master bedroom, armory stairs, next to attic wall.
Those are all relevant positions.
Those are all places you can be. You can do, like, you know, triangulation, I guess we can call it, where you drone around and you distance where you start getting affected by Vigil and where you don't. But all you have to do as Vigil is toggle your thing off, toggle it on. That deceives the whole purpose of trying to find you, because you don't know if he's turning it off or if he's running away.
Very much so. There's a lot of strategy involved in playing Vigil, and I think with Vigil, it can either promote a team that wants to play defensively but has a player that is very good on the offensive play, or a team
100%.
that is in general very approving of just being overall aggressive like we see on FaZe.
I think it kind of has the... when you look at something like Pulse, Pulse can either be played, you know, in a team setting where you always have someone following him around. Kind of, we saw Slash do that. So as an in-game leader, he's walking around. We've seen Troy do it a lot as well, Troy Canadian. We see them walking around with Pulse, getting a lot of info, having someone always there to back you up. Or you can play it really aggressive as a solo operator, and you're just kind of trying to create as much havoc as possible, getting maybe 1-2 kills before you go down, and that's your goal.
It is a thing, though, that we still saw Canadian doing.
Yeah.
With the C4, you know, he'll chuck a C4, get 1, then fall back, play a bit of team play, and then go back out and try to get an extra frag on top of it. And you know what? He dies. That's fine. He's already disrupted the game for so long and lost so much time for the attacking team.
You can kind of do the same with Vigil. You can, like, drones have a high value in competitive, right? You need to know what's going on. You need to know where they're coming from. Yeah, you need to know where they're droning from. Sorry, where they're rotating to, and losing a lot of drones is really gonna make that difficult.
All right, so we see both teams here that are setting up to go. eINS are laughing a bit. It's good to laugh. It's good to deconcentrate from your own experience.
Yeah, getting
Alex.
tilted is probably the least effective way of coming back.
What did you? So when you used to play on PDUX, how did you guys, you know, calm down after a loss?
Oh, sometimes we didn't, sometimes we didn't. I think that's the human factor, right? Sometimes you just get affected, and there isn't too many things you can do. You can sit down and go through and debrief the match you had, which is probably the right way of doing it, or you can try and find a few reasons of why you lost. But right after the match, I think the only right thing to do is either deconstruct or be a little light about it. You're gonna lose games no matter what.
Yep.
There eventually, even you can win 20 games in a row, you're still bound to lose at some point.
It's all about getting back into it. It's all about recognizing that you made a mistake.
Yeah,
and understanding how to fix it.
You can take stuff like 5-0s might not be stomps, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people, if they look at the overall score, they will go, well, 5-0, the other team didn't have a chance. But what if we put it in a way where every single round was a 1v1 at the end?
Then it's very close.
Yeah, that's just a lot of 1v1s won by one team instead of the other. Might as well have been a 5-3 or a 5-0 to the other team.
Alrighty. So we are getting ready to go as teams halfway switch sides. Remember, this is map number 2 in this best of 3 series, Oregon. And there we go. We're going live. Here we go. FaZe Clan taking map number 1 on Consulate, 5-1. Now we go into map 2, Oregon. And eINS FaZe moves on, continues. And we see, can FaZe prove that they are the alpha dog here and clean it up 2-0? Or will eINS show that, you know what, they still have some teeth. They have something to show for after their performance in Brazil. And they would like to tell everybody in the world that, you know what, we're ready for this.
Either way, I'd just like to see someone have the perfect tower strat. I really want that to work. I want that to be a thing that can actually
I want to see a perfect
more than a
kitchen
round in a row.
I want to see a kitchen strat.
That as well.
That as well. Very much so.
I think kitchen is way, not easier, but way more likely to become a thing that we'll see being run over and over again than tower. Because having those 3 floors so close to each other, it really matters a lot if you lose top floor of tower.
Yeah, because if you're defending kitchen, then you have the back of the kitchen itself. You have bathrooms as well. That's a very good spot to be in.
Also, there isn't any way of retaking that ground that you've lost except for climbing up the ladder, running up a stair, or making a hole in attic. That's it.
Yep, definitely. All right, so smoke here. Suzuki has started to open up a ton of murder holes through the top side. This means that they can shut down any attackers coming in, but also it allows Shin on the pulse to throw in a C4 if needed, or to go for quick sprays if needed. That's a big part of this defense as well, is that you can deny without relying on an echo, for example.
And we've seen these kind of defenses quite a lot for top floor, where you play 3-man downstairs, you take a lot of focus and put it on kitchen and bathroom itself.
There you go. Shin, kill number 1, just uses the pulse perfectly, waiting for one to peek him from kitchen. And that's him cleaned up. Very well done, cameraman. No more Ash to play with here. However, the Twitch drone from Astro will take down the mirror window right behind in the kitchen. Paplia and Astro will trade out 1-1. It's still very much in the favor of eINS here.
This is really rough of them because they aren't gaining ground, right? They aren't fighting for the bomb site right now. They're just trying to get in the building.
Shin using the C4 here as a distraction and also a possible rotation hole as he pushes one of the attackers back. Moringa getting low on HP. He moves back into office storage and sets himself up by big window. Now Gohan still has 1 logic bomb to deploy. He might just be waiting up for that until his teammates are in position. It's do or die here with 3 players on the FaZe Clan team versus the 4 of eINS. Already see smokes being thrown in from Suzuki.
This is one of the times where, as an attacking team, you start to feel a bit of the stress. If your plan is to jump in through that window and you don't have much ground downstairs, you haven't really removed any gadgets. You know smoke is still alive and mirror is still alive. That's potential C4. You still got pulse downstairs that can scan you. You're kind of running out of opportunities right now.
It's very much looking like the case for FaZe Clan. You see the logic bomb has been used up. It forces Shin and the team to fall back a bit. Moringa avoiding damage. But Suzuki is low on HP, and Shin will go down. And that's pretty much what kind of opening FaZe has been waiting for. Remember, there's still one player below. That's something that can cause a ton of havoc for eINS. Smoke nades and no claymores to be used here. Mav will get the kill onto Area Arena. Suzuki's low on HP. Remember that. He's still on the smoke. Goes in for the 1v1. Pulls out the shotgun. What is going on? Gohan turns around and gets the headshot with the SMG-12. Prototype, a.k.a. 1Z, is all on his own now versus 3 for the retake. Bomb needs to get planted, or diffuser needs to get planted in this position. And here we go. It has been planted down. Prototype is spotted, and Mav will spray him out and take him down. That fight upstairs in the bedroom was...
Gohan should not have survived.
Yeah.
That turnaround... Ouch.
I'm sure we've all been through that. All right, so 1-0 as somehow FaZe brought it back after that bit odd end to the round.
Yeah, it seemed like they kind of spent, you know, a full minute outside going, okay, let's just shoot them.
Yeah, let's find an angle. The grenade from Mav was very well placed.
Yeah.
That definitely did open up the site and at least force one of the defenders down.
Let's be fair, Dokubi's DMR, that's a scary thing to beat.
Yes,
if you put your hand out for half a second, you're dead.
Yeah, if
you don't need to hit headshots with that thing. It's so low recoil that you can do high sustained damage on a foot through a drone hole.
Yeah, and also you have a pretty decent amount of penetration damage.
Yeah,
it's as you're saying, not a lot of recoil. With the right attachments, obviously, it makes it even more controllable.
100%, yeah, and you can fire it really fast.
It's all about the trigger finger. That's
exactly.
All right, so Valkyrie picked up here by Mav. And he's going to be throwing out his Val cams all the way downstairs.
I feel like Buck is such a gamble on Oregon when you don't know if they're going to be upstairs or downstairs. Because there isn't much you can really do if they're downstairs. Buck doesn't have too many uses compared to, let's say, a Sledge or... I mean, Sledge, you get the SMG-11, right?
I mean, you don't really need to have the Buck here. The only thing that I can think of is, oh, there are some unreinforced hatches, which is definitely not going to be the case. And 2, you know, the school wall. But then again,
yeah,
you don't even need that.
I mean, it helps with... It doesn't help with anything. Oh, that was Ash.
Yep, there we go. That's Ash taken down. So Paplia taken down. Now that soft destruction roll is going to go the way of Buck. So
that is such a sneaky run out as well.
Very much. Mav is very well known for those runouts, especially on Bank. If you remember last season when he jumped out, got 2 kills, and somehow stayed alive for literally 45 seconds on Bank. Yeah, 45 minutes. That would be very impressive. That's
some of those Bank jump outs they're amazing. When they work out, it's such a feat.
This is pretty nice black eye spot as well, because it means that he has full control of everybody moving into meeting room without needing to be there, without exposing himself too much.
Yeah, and these black guys are doing immense work.
Information, that's half the game, really. And he's going to be spawning at least one coming in through a tower, so he sets himself up to shut down Capitao here, Shin.
And without an IQ and without actually seeing them being thrown in drone, it's almost impossible to find those.
Double kill for Moringa, goes in, FaZe gets the kill on Shin. And that's 2 for him. Moringa low on HP, but it doesn't really matter. Diffuser is on the floor. Prototype is all on his own, but Astro runs right into him on the Vigil. And they did not even need the Vigil to be sneaky.
We saw Astro with the Bus G. He wasn't using it, but he had the Bus G.
He was this close. This close. I think he hears you at this point, Alex.
I want to see that happen, man. That gun, so look at it this way, right? If you're repelling and you get hit by the Bus G in the leg, you're dead. You can't get down when you're repelling.
You're very much dead.
It's one shot that has to hit within a few meters and you're gone. Sure, you can do the same with a normal shotgun, but the Bus G also works on range.
Because it is a slug and not just,
yeah.
You know,
this is what the Sniper 90 maybe should have been, right? So something where you can actually kill people on a really long range, but it's a skill cannon. You really need to be good to make that Bus G work.
I think everybody that used to play from Season 1, Season 2 will definitely have PTSD to the days of, you know, Canal with a Super 90.
Yeah, that was
that was a fun time, that's for sure.
That was something.
Yeah. But now on the defense, it is eINS yet again, our resident Japanese team, and they are setting up in kitchen, even sacrificing a mirror wall here. Now, I'm not sure about this sort of a more forward mirror wall. I would very much like it to be all the way in the back of meeting hall. But what do you think?
10 seconds to
I'm
go.
a bigger fan of putting the one in bathroom, looking into kitchen, and kind of allowing them a bit more space in dining room. Because I feel like if you allow people to come a little bit further into the room, you have more control of knowing when they leave. You don't necessarily need to kill them, but the amount of info you get while they're... So if they're attacking from outside, you don't really know when they leave, right? But if they're in the room, you don't have to peek them or do anything. You get so much info.
But speaking of that bathroom wall, would you keep it soft or reinforce it?
Well, if you keep it soft and you place the mirror window at crouch height, you can't get shot because of the kitchen shelves. You'll always be able to have it at being ash charged, but there are things you can do with the Jaeger devices and stuff like that. And they, I mean, as long as they waste a gadget to do stuff, then it's a good trade.
All right, well, Shin now still below in the corridor by bathroom. Just going to check in. Maybe somebody's moving through hall. It's Mav that's just holding a long angle through from the garage. Not going to find anybody just yet. Just checking. Bringing up the grenade all the way to the other side of the hallway and right to Shin, right in the shins, as they say. And that is the pulse removed from play. That was a sickening.
That was...
As I say that though, Mav will get shot down. Nicely done from 1Z on the Jaeger. Takes a bit of damage at the end of this one, but still in bathroom, and it is an open wall, so it can definitely get a clear angle of attack. It's very difficult to push anybody sitting in bathroom.
Yeah,
Very careful here.
for the ones coming from dining into... Hibana taking a...
Oh, here we go. Quick Russian, and Prototype is going to fall down, but Paglia is going to take out Astro. What is this? Cameraman running circles around, and all 3 kills in a row go in for FaZe Clan as it's just shut down. eINS, this is yet again, oh, hey, trade, and then bam, Phaser all in your face and you're down.
Yeah, that ended up a little bit awkward with them running past each other there, but yeah, let's not talk about that.
I didn't even know that happened.
But with dining, when you leave that wall in bathroom open, it's very uncomfortable walking from dining into kitchen because they can be close left, they can be in bathroom, and they can be around the entire island in the middle. So when you go in, you don't really have anywhere to look because even if you've droned it out, there's still rotates that can be done.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
3-0 up for FaZe Clan, 6-1 for Mav. Fantastic grenade that we saw last round on the sledge.
That was about as perfectly timed as it could be. He kept jiggling forth and back, and just as he let go, it blows up on the corner. Pulse walks into it.
Well, so far so good for our Brazilian team. Very close to taking it 10-1, if you will. Is it possible at this point? You know, very much is.
I believe in FaZe. They
10 seconds to go.
After this performance, yeah, I bet you did.
oh yeah.
It must be really scary facing against a stronger opponent, a team that has this much history and pedigree behind them.
The same being one of the other teams that will have to play FaZe eventually. If you're watching this match, it doesn't matter who you're playing. If you end up 10-1ing them, that's not a fun team to play against afterwards.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Because you'll feel unstoppable after a 10-1 victory.
Very similar to what we had with Penta, of course, beating Vitality 10-2. So that definitely boosts their morale for tomorrow. Go.
It has a lot to say with how this group stage is, right? If you start facing a team that won so dominantly, and you didn't, that's a scary thing, right?
Hey, that's why we're here and not there. Well, you were there, but have to remind you of the
this is much better for the blood pressure.
Very much so. Imagine if you were on the receiving end of that grenade. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a good day at all.
I would have been upset.
Yeah, to say the least. So Gohan still set up in the door main hall. Already peeking through the main window. Does spot maybe a couple players that are moving around from the back. At least he knows that for now it's all clear to go. And they can just reset and put themselves in a better position to counter any offense that eINS might have in hand, because it's a minute 36 and they have still not really gained any ground with which to use to get on the site.
Astra's in an amazing position here because they have no idea.
That's one taken out. There's still the second. Aria will get one. And Shin will get the second. A great start here. So finally Capitao is being put into play. Of course, Capitao has had a few changes very recently, making his Part 308 a lot more controllable, that's for sure.
Yeah, his gun is amazing now. Whereas...
Going for the 1v1. Astra being right in. Can't get the kill, though. And we'll have to rotate all the way around. But he's just going to stay a thorn in the side.
So as long as they keep two people occupied with him, it's an even fight.
Ario moving back in. They still have not set themselves in any controlling position. And Astro still rotating from back and forth tower and laundry stairs. Ario Arena trying to find an angle on him. Astro is still waiting, lurking, not making any noise, or as little as possible. Now, if it was a sledge instead of the Thatcher at this point, you might have just, sledged the floor and look on down the stairs. Unfortunately, that's not the case, and Astro running right up behind him. There's nothing really to help at Arena, and now he's going to be pushing in, gets the second one as well. Mav will get one, and he's left in a 1v2. Mav low on HP. C4 will work out against Shen, leaving Suze, and Aro is down on the floor. This is definitely doable here with little time remaining. Mav can just play for time. 1 second in, has to go for the diffuser plant, goes in for the 1v1, but no! He could have gone for it. He could have planted it and gone in for the 1v1 fight, unfortunately for Suzuki.
You can't afford to get off the diffuser at that point. You just have to stay.
He wanted to go for the 1v1 and try to go for a last second kill.
I was going to say, even though they didn't win the round, Astra's run was amazing, but they end up winning anyway.
I think this was more the fault of the Thatcher not sending the information back quickly enough.
Well, both that, and if you're trying to buddy block someone, it's, I don't know, if you're laying still and just getting the info, I think that's better. Because it really tells you a lot if you're wiggling forth and back in front of the diffuser.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they
But
can.
Astro's patient on that run, going forth and back, never ever overextending, except when he knew 100% that Thatcher was going to move up the stairs. He goes up and he tries Thatcher, then, looks around, wins a gunfight, but he wasted immense time there.
Indeed. The players have started to realize, there's some positions where I don't even need to be aggressive. They're either going to walk into me or they're going to have to run out of time.
But it's hard not to doubt yourself when you're roaming, because you don't really know if people left or if they're still waiting for you, and you always have this underlying fear of you just waiting for nothing. Because if you aren't occupying other people with either being on drones, watching the flank, hunting you, any of that stuff, then you're just putting your team in a 4v5 to start with.
Alright, well, Gohan's going to deploy a logic bomb very early on.
Looks like we're going to see a
quick rush. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And Astra's going to run right on in with the Twitch. He's going to run right into the yellow mine, and Arena on the Mira is just sitting back, and he knows that this is going to be a push.
It seemed like they might have changed their mind after this the smoke grenade and the holes down in the bottom of the wall.
They can just fall back at this point, can't they?
Yeah, they didn't take any damage, which is actually surprising.
This might have just been to force out an over-rotation from eINS.
Honestly, I think they just full gambled. They were like, we're 4-0 up, might as well. Because if you push there and they aren't ready, it's a safe win. If you don't have the full setup to stop a rush, you're done.
And it's fine, you're still up 4-1.
Exactly.
Just for the smoke and mirrors, if you will, making it flashy. End of it.
With all aggressive plays, I always think that you should either do them super early on when you can afford it, or late on when you're ahead, or when you don't have any other option.
Yeah.
Don't do the mid-round, when everything's going all right.
Don't change, winning strategy.
Exactly.
Well, Gohan moving in bit by bit here. Here we go. 2 kills, 3 kills going ham here, FaZe. Leaving only 2 alive. Arya Arena and Suzuki are left alone, and they are all on the site. Smoke is going to get thrown in. Minute 24, this is definitely not a spot to be in, though. Arya Arena will get the kill on Mav. Cleaning up the sledge. Cameraman's going to open things up as well with the Hibana's going to open things up here. Moringa. Suzuki trying to rotate from the back, and I'm not too sure. At this point, do you stay on the site or do you fall back? And here we go. Aero will get the C4 kill on one. Suzuki for the second, and they turn it into a 2v2. Not really something we were expecting after a huge 5-2.
They have to take it here, second match point.
Yeah, Arena has to push in, but he needs to wait for his teammate as well. Perfect spot from cameraman, and they're both coming in from the same angle, even though Suzuki was already upstairs. And now they know exactly where he's at. He does a bit of damage, needs to throw out the smoke to take down the player in the back. That's go on low, but he moves on in. Pulls out the SMG-12, maybe. Suzuki low on HP. Second is going to drop from the stairs in just a second, and unfortunately not enough ammo to continue with the SMG-11. Gohan will take him out, and FaZe Clan, ladies and gentlemen, will make it to day 2 up 2-0 here. 10-1, very convincing victory against their Japanese counterparts of eINS.
I was very, very dominant.
That was as convincing as it can get, really. And